What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Reach Out Reptiles. My name is Garrett Hartle.
I'm Rob.
Whoa, he was right behind me. That was awkward.
That was awkward?
And we have Jessica on logo. Jessica from Instagram fame. There's actually an Instagram video. Lucas, you saw it. You called it out. I couldn't believe. Remember the video you did with the snake in the bun in your hair? She's got the same bun in her hair tonight. Yeah.
Was I on Instagram? I told you to mute.
Yeah, you were on in an Instagram video, so you guys never get to see Jess except for that brief half a second at the beginning of each of these videos.
I do. The
she
snake's
is on
like
Instagram.
when I wear my hair up.
So I know you guys know that I love you. I don't really know why you love me, but if you can't get enough of us and what we do here, definitely Rob. He's still breaking stuff and he's gone for the day. Jeez. Anyway, Instagram, we actually moved, for those of you guys that are missing Aiden on the channel and everything like that, we moved everything that Aiden is doing over to Instagram, and I'm telling you what, it feels like he found his home turf, don't you think?
Yeah.
He's freaking killing it.
Yeah.
The little reels and stuff that are on our page, we always did the dwarf of the day. We put up lots of eye candy of all the kinds of dwarves and super dwarfs. But man, Aiden is really, cranking some awesome, beautiful content. There's all kinds of cool stuff on there. So please jump over to Instagram if you haven't already and check us out over there. Let me jump this over here. Yeah, you guys will really like it. And it has a little bit of a different flavor and flair. I mean, it's still all Reach Our Reptiles Super Dwarf related, but it's pretty cool. So what we're going to do we have that picture? Do you have that, the thumbnail picture you can pull up with the 4 people that look like random
I
people
can pull it up, yeah.
trying to. Let me show you a picture. You guys have probably seen it in your community posts as you're scrolling through these YouTube videos where we have 4 random people wearing our Reach Out Reptiles swag, and they're trying to figure out what we're going to talk about on these live videos. We want to empower you guys to tell us what you would like to see from us and be as interactive as possible. So I had an idea. They're never very good, but I did have one, where we could have you guys, let's see if I can show you the picture here.
Flip it around.
Yep, let me see. Whoop. That's the picture that we're talking about right there. These are random people from some modeling website wearing our swag. Apparently they're like professionally beautiful people.
Professionally beautiful?
I don't
that
know.
A thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I think you guys are much more beautiful. So, this is what I would like to do. Every Thursday, we basically make the same post saying, hey, what do you guys want to see out of us on the next live feed? And then we take your questions, which we did from last week, and we put them together so that we can kind of come up with some of the content that I can go through here. You're always free to interrupt me with a super chat. Apparently, I do a little dance and then answer your question like a magical leprechaun.
He also does dance requests.
What? No, that's not a thing.
That's
Stop.
a thing.
Stop
That's
making
my favorite
things.
thing.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I definitely need to get with some of you guys that do dance instruction and maybe get some lessons on the side. But the sad white boy dance thing is strong here. So if you want to see that for some reason, throw up a super chat.
Or Summer.
But what I wanted to say, yeah, we need her help. What I wanted to say was that if you guys will recreate that picture I just showed of yourself in Reach Out Reptile swag that you can order.
Super chat!
We've got a ton. Super chat! Woohoo! Wait, here's Summers. Hey! What's the super chat?
It's super
Chris,
chat
just say a
dance.
super chat dance.
I think that means you have to do another one.
Get out of here, Chris. Thank you. Anyway, no, we love your support. We really appreciate that. We're going to show off a lot of cool snakes tonight. But what I wanted to say was that we would actually, rather than these professionally beautiful people, I want you amateur beautiful people, or maybe you're professionally beautiful, I don't know, to send in your pictures of you wearing our swag, figuring out, like those guys, I'm figuring like, recreate the picture. They're just taking notes on something, what we should do for a live. So if you send in a square format, right, Jess?
Yes, square.
You got to be square for this contest to count, like my super
Just
dads.
like you're dancing.
We both said the same thing, except you were making fun of me because you're a mean person. And I'm only self-deprecating.
Nobody has yet requested a square dance.
please don't request specific dances. I don't even know what they are. But anyway, recreate a picture of yourself and send it in to us. Info at Reach Out
Super chat.
Reptiles. For what Rob broke. Thank you, Nathan.
$2.99.
It's probably a cost about $2.99. You are a scholar and a gentleman, sir.
You did
Send
the
in our
dance.
pictures. Info at reachoutreptiles.com. Square format. Wearing Reach Out Reptiles swag. We will feature you on the thumbnail of our YouTube channel on these posts where we ask what we're trying to figure out for the next live. I want to change it up. It's an easy format. It really doesn't matter what the picture is, does it? So why give these professionally beautiful people all the love? I would rather love on you guys. Send the pictures in, and we will feature you guys on there. Thank you very much. So, the
I think
title
you
of
got
tonight's
out of
live.
that last dance.
What's that?
I think you got out of that last dance.
Oh crap! Rob broke something. All right. So, anyway, what we're gonna do tonight is actually go through and show you guys some of the remaining 2020 animals. This was a weird year, obviously, for everybody. COVID and all the crazy stuff that happened. We had, like, you know, business-wise, we had a very good year with the super dwarfs, but instead of, like, there being a huge flood, I mean, I can break it down for you. Most of our clutches hatch in March and April. If you remember March and April of 2020, it was like absolute chaos. Everyone was losing jobs. No one knew what was happening. Our waiting lists that have been very stable, like, you know, we go through, if you send us, like, let's say you want a pair of Karampas or something, I'll put you on a waiting list, and in the order that you get on that waiting list, no deposit or anything, I'll sell you a snake. So most of our snakes in the history of Reach Out Reptiles sell as they hatch. The vast majority of them do. And then we have general availability that we take to the public. The waiting list stuff got smashed in 2020 because there was a lot of people, I felt really bad for them, for some people who were like, waited 2 years for this line of Calatoas that they knew was legit or something. And then they got word that their company might be closing or something due to the pandemic. So we kind of put the waiting list. I still called through, and anybody that wanted something got something. But what I decided to do, just to try to help everybody out, normally if your turn comes up and you don't buy an animal you said you were going to buy, you just go back down to the bottom of the queue. So what we did was we maintained everyone's spot for 2020. It's probably going to be a little bit weird in 2021 when we start getting a hold of everyone as things hatch because of that. And it very weirdly spread out our sales through the course of the year, which was actually pretty nice. The feast or famine thing, I don't know, sometimes I buy expensive stuff when there's too much money in the bank account, like lots of racks and snakes, and I mean, it's all snake stuff because...
All the snakes.
I mean, you guys understand, like, you see that snake that you love, I'm hoping some of you will see them tonight, and you just gotta have it, and you gotta buy it. So I did a lot of that in 2020, or, well, in previous years, 2020, I had to be more disciplined. So, anyway, what I want to show you is that we are almost always, those of you who come visit us traditionally at the Tinley Park show in October, know that we bring, like, basically a bunch of holdbacks just to show off and sign up people on lists. And I don't go there to sell snakes anyways. I go there to meet you guys. So, you know, what happened this year, all the shows were canceled, all the craziness. We actually still have some really nice snakes left from 2020. There's not a lot. And it's, you know, but for me, it's not unusual that we're in January and we still have some snakes from 2020. 2020 was only 2-3 weeks ago. What's unusual is that I usually sell out in like October, September, you know, completely for the year. So I want to show you guys some of the stuff that's available, and that was actually some of the questions that you guys posted last week. So
yeah, I had a couple actually. So Jacob says, "What snakes can I get for $1,000 or under?"
Jacob, we're going to show you in just a minute.
And where was the other one? Somebody asked. Let me scroll back.
I gotta do my homework too, make sure I know these prices. I'm gonna say these crazy prices. You guys
So Status 304 was seeing any of your snakes during a live stream is always a good thing, as I'm hoping to be purchasing one from you guys very soon, but it's hard because everyone you show is so beautiful. But I want everyone.
You know, to be honest with you, a lot of people, like, it is hard to make a decision on your first retic but it's not long after that you realize that these are actually pretty easy to maintain animals. The super dwarves, anyways, not mainlands, but they're really easy to work with. It's not a big deal to have more than one. And like you can even go back to, for example, the interview I did with Brian Farley at Reptile Revival. If you scroll back through our YouTube videos and you watch that, one of the big things he said is he wishes he would have just got started sooner. You know, he like bought a few, trickled in later, a year into it or whatever, realized how enjoyable they were, how much fun they were, and then he just went full board, which is obviously natural, but he said he just wishes he would have planned some projects out, grabbed the females, and got going. So I hope to do that for some of you guys actually tonight. There's males left, there are some females left, and I'm telling you, any female, if you have just a 50% super dwarf, wild type, whatever, maybe it's a posset albino, or I get some head Anery stuff, things like that, that's a year old. I mean, they start breeding at like 3.5, 4 years old is generally when we start trying. So if you can get one from 2020, like I said, most of them hatch April, May, around then. Oh my gosh, you have a huge head start, and that's something that, I mean, I suppose that's common in other, niches of the reptile world, but with super dwarfs, finding any females with any kind of age, normally, I mean, how many questions do we get all the time? Like, do you have any older females? I mean, it's constant.
Yeah.
And so, and usually I'm like, oh, the oldest one I have is like, 3 months old or something. So we have some that are going to be a year old this year. So I think we should just go look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go check them out. We have our much expanded super dwarf section. Normally you have this huge wall full of
Let me switch it.
baby retics that are in like these small tub sizes. They're all too big for this now though. Look at this cute house snake though. This is not available. House snake, he's so
I
cute.
thought we were showing available stuff.
Yeah, we're going to. This one's not available. We always got to start off spontaneously. But all we have left, some of these are actually sold in holdbacks. So all we have left is like this much, and they all have their own, bigger tubs and everything now. So yeah, let's check them out. So under $1,000. Oh, here's one. It's not even over here. Where is it? Did we move it over? Rob, where'd you put it? No, I think it's over here. We actually have one that was missexed, and I didn't think I had any good, like, pet quality. Not really pet quality. I mean, it's great quality, but a cheap enough snake that you could make a pet. Look at this thing. So this thing was supposed to be a female. One of the things we do is we sex them, we put the labels on them, and we set them up. And then I always double check everything myself before it goes out the door. And lo and behold, this ridiculously patterned animal sexed as a male, and it was bought as a female. It's 62.5% super dwarf. It's 100% head Anery. Dad was a posset purple, 66% posset purple. We're going to find out in about 2 weeks if he is a het purple or not. So this might be a het snow. And it's a yearling super dwarf. You can see it's like, the size of a month or 2 month old hatchling, mainland retic. So good small bloodline. I expect him as a male to get about 8 or 9 feet maybe. As an adult, that is going to be the least expensive animal that we have. He was supposed to be really expensive because he was going to be a female, but he's not. He's a male. So somebody PayPal Garrett at Out Reptiles, $500, and he's yours. So look at the pattern on this guy. I don't know if you guys see this. This came from one of the most spectacularly patterned animals. Wait, let's take him out in the light. We have a little bit of time. I'm going to mostly show this stuff. If you guys have questions, feel free to do your super chats and I'll interrupt. But the banded neck pattern is really unusual. That's something I breed for in my white diamond line. This one was actually produced by Richard Bilbo. He's kind of, I jokingly refer to him as Out Reptiles West now. But see the banding on the neck pattern? And then he's got, one thing I love from Calatoas is the strong dorsal striping, like that little black line that goes straight down their back. He's got a ton of that and really jagged pattern. This is just an exceptional animal. I don't know. I mean, you could breed him. Certainly this pattern would be awesome to run to stuff. But as a high percentage super dwarf cross male, he's 62.5% super dwarf. He also has 6.25% Jampea in him. I don't know. If you just want a nice, calm, very well behaved little wild type retic that's not going to get too big, that's your man. $500 for you guys tonight. I don't know if that's the right price or not, but I literally found out when we were shipping.
You
Jody,
said it
if
out
you're
loud.
watching, this is your snake that ended up being a male. I was supposed to ship him out today. Unfortunately, that's a great clutch. I held a lot of stuff back myself from that clutch, so I had to give up one of my holdback females because we're going to take care of you guys. Obviously, that was our mistake. Glad I found it now, not 3 years later, but that's why we go through all the redundancies that we do. So $500, that's $1,000 under snake. The rest of these males, and when I say like the rest, I've got these few, and they're phantoms. So I've got phantoms in a couple of different flavors. These ones are 62.5% Super Dwarf as well. Different breeding, same percentage. You guys might remember this one from Instagram. This guy's crazy. He's a possible het albino. I would love to see this in mocha. But look at the Super Dwarf influence there. By Super Dwarf influence, I mean he's got a ton of, like a really high saddle count. Lots and lots of pattern on him. And these rosettes that look like ship porthole windows, those are just stupid. I'm sorry. Now, this animal, Super Dwarf phantoms, are fairly rare. He's incomplete dominant. He's possible het albino. He's from one of my favorite tiger females. This is from a really high percentage female, so very small bloodline. Probably an 8-foot male, maybe 7 to 8 foot. I want to say that these ones are $2,000. But this was actually from one of my best investments of 2020. So if you have any Super Dwarf females whatsoever to breed this guy to, I mean, he's a year old. He's going to be breeding in, I don't know, what, 6-8 months? Maybe 12 months. And then you got it. And then we have his brother, which is a Phantom Tiger. The Tiger does a lot of cool stuff in Phantom. So this one's $2,500. You get the extra gene in there. Same thing, 62.5%. That's all Calatoa.
Super chat.
He's pos het albino. Super chat. Let's do it. What's the super chat? Super chat.
Chris Gear says, "Can we see the rack incubator?"
No, you can't see that. I redact your super chat.
Well, they can kind of see it because it's in the corner of the video.
Oh, stop showing it. Rob said we're specifically not to show that side of the room. That's why we turned this, Jessica.
This side?
No, it's not ready. But Chris, you'll be happy to know it works. We fine-tuned it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to work. I have Rob needs, now that we know what we're doing, we've been experimenting literally for like a year on, I mean, you guys know, we do a lot with incubation. We really have worked with them. For me, incubating an egg is like taking care of a baby snake. And I know how to do that. We've been doing it for a really long time. So I love trying it in different situations and scenarios so I can continue to learn more. So I've applied all of my knowledge with what my favorite things in the industry are. And yeah, we're going to be incubating in a very new way very soon. It's going to be sick. Rob's going to put that thing together actually early next week. And we're going to start putting eggs in there because we've got gravid females ready to rock. All right, so this guy, $2,500. Not the cheapest snake in the world, but definitely the best investment. So Super Dwarf Phantom females were about twice as much as males this year. Look at what the tiger does to the pattern on the tail. Is that sick or what? Look at that. And they were very expensive because everybody wants to make, like we can show you, we're showing the available animals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have the Super Dwarf cows. Come here, cowgirl.
I don't think that's under 1,000.
This one's not under 1,000. But this is probably, I mean, I'm willing to bet this is going to be one of the best long-term investments. Look at blue-eyed leucistic ball pythons. Personally, I think the cows are more interesting, but phantoms can do both the blue-eye lucies and the cows. And a snake like this in Super Dwarf, as we really refine the bloodlines and get them higher and higher percentage, this one's all the way up to 62.5. This is the first Super Dwarf cow in the world, and she's only at 50% Calatoa, so this one would make higher. But the idea is run a male like this with the incomplete dominant phantom gene. Yes, you're a very good boy. You're very sweet, we know. And make a stack of phantom females for yourself. Orange Ghost Stripes haven't been made in about 2 years. There was only a couple of them sold. They were in the 5 figures. That means $10,000 and up, guys. because they can make this kind of stuff. And so, and they sold right away. All the high-end stuff, you know, goes very well. But with a male like this, and even just a very simple, I mean, we have a couple of really simple, like, wild type females. You can make phantom tigers. And if you keep back all the phantom females for yourself, it would really not be hard with one of these and an inexpensive, you know, wild type female to set yourself up with like a dozen phantom females, that when that orange ghost stripe price comes down a little bit, you will have been in for a couple $1,000. You'll have a huge cow making project for the future if that's a morph that you like. We did a lot of phantom stuff this year in different bloodlines. So one of the other bloodlines that we have, this is another phantom tiger, but this one's going to look very different. This is a 75% super dwarf. He's even higher. This guy is $3,000. Might be 35 actually, but he's 100% head Anery, and he has Madu, which usually have a much cleaner pattern, and you can see how that guy almost looks like a genetic stripe. So he's got a lot of Madu, a little bit of Kalatoa in there. I think it's actually 50 Kalatoa, 25 Madu, and his color is much more gray than those Posset albinos. He's 100% head Anery. So we got a phantom tiger there. He's the last one. I do have a couple boys from this clutch though. This guy was phenomenal. I did what I am, you know, exactly what I'm telling you to do with the phantoms that I think would be a good idea. I did myself. I mean, you can see from that 75% super dwarf clutch, because they're high percentage, I've got the phantom sun tiger. I've got the sun tiger head Anery. I've got my phantom sunfire head Anery. And then I have my Anery sunfire right here. And I have my tiger Anery phantom boy here. So, you know, these things are all, this guy's already breeding for me. Obviously, we've had to thicken him up a little bit in recent months because he's been running to females. But he's breeding great. They're, you know, a year old and ready to rock. So these are the oldest ones. If you want a phantom male, super dwarf, high percentage with that kind of exotic Madu blood, that's your boy. This is a phantom Anery. I refuse to even show him in this room because, I don't know, cameras don't pick up the light anyway on this guy. This is a visual Anery phantom. We did not know that Anery was even in the cards for this breeding. It happened on accident. So you can see that high blue iridescence on him. These are probably my new favorite Anery morph. And I want to add some things, like my tiger lightens it up a little bit. I want to add a couple of other genes. Look at this guy's eyes. They're like white. Can you see that? That guy is so pretty. Anyway, if you could put platinum to this, like if you had a platinum head Anery female, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. But if you want to make a phantom and run it to whatever female you have and have everything be 100% head Anery, you need this guy. I think they're going to be cool. By the way, cows and blue eye Lucies, they have those blue eyes. Anerys have this white silver eye. One of my greatest ponderings or musings is what an Anery blue eye Lucy or an Anery cow would look like. What does a blue eye, you know, white eye together look like? Is it extra bright blue or what does that do? So anyway, those are the males. I got the $500 male with the cool pattern. And I've got some phantom stuff here. There is a Sunfire Phantom from the 75% clutch as well. The Phantom Anery is $4,500. This guy's $4,500. Some of these animals that are left, these are obviously very specific kind of investment animals. We don't expect to sell every $4,500 animal right out of the gate. They're for somebody who has the right females for this, but this is a Sunfire Phantom, so you can see it really cleans the pattern. Wow, this light is weird. Everything looks green.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's like, I don't know, you can't see him, but he's like a bronze orange color. Phantom and Sunfire together are probably some of my favorites. I love the way the tail like fades into that pattern in the back. And to be a het Anery is phenomenal because Anery Sunfires and the cat's meow, they are green. This one's not green, but the Anery Sun Phantoms are. So that's it for males.
Can we do some questions?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, I have to go look at them.
Oh, yeah, you can look at them. Oh, you want to grab some questions there?
Yeah.
Let me grab a girl. Yeah, go ahead. I'll come out. Oh. Oh, she's going in the shed. I wanted to show you guys this one, but it's not going to be a good example of her own self right now. What do we got here, Jess? What's the question?
Okay.
This is a female wild type, 62 and a half.
So Richard says, this is Richard Van Wagner. Is there any gene expression interaction when breeding an amel strain to a white or purple phase albino, like how Orange Glow is?
No, there's not. So amel is incompatible with Orange Glows, Caramels, Mochinos, Clark strain. Those are all on one allele, all those ones I just mentioned. Amel is
Super
compatible with with blonde. So if you breed an amel to a blonde, you can actually get, they call them a rhapsody, and they're kind of like a lavender albino of the blondes. So it is super cool. Thank you. Who is the super chat dance?
Brandon Simpson.
Brandon Simpson, what's up, buddy? So it is super cool that they are allelic because you can now work with, I mean, the amels, if you're into those super bright white snakes, those are for you. The caramels are one of the darkest forms of albino. That's for you. The in-betweens are kind of in between. I don't know. Not my favorite thing. But I do love that they're allelic because you can breed both ways. You can make super bright or super dark. It's almost like the brightest and darkest of albinos together. So, but they are not compatible with the others. What's our super chat for Brandon?
Brandon says, can we see the Golden Child Mochino Sunfire?
Golden Child Mochino Sunfire. Why do you guys know what I have hiding in my racks? I guess
They're all hiding.
because I show them all, right? Yeah. So yes, we will show you that one, Brandon. Let me talk about this girl first. So this girl is another 62.5% super dwarf. She's from like my favorite tiger female. She's Posset albino. This is super weird. Whenever I worked at Prehistoric Pets, we called these things sun siblings. When this is back in the day when Sunfire was like a new gene, and we noticed that there were animals from the Sunfire clutches that had Sunfire-like traits but did not carry the gene. I don't know why. Some people said maybe it was locality or whatever, but we got 10 generations away from whatever locality. So I don't know why some animals look almost like a half Sunfire. They don't pass the gene on. They're not genetically loaded with that. This girl is like that, but she's really interesting to me. I don't know if she's a one-of-a-kind or what. This is just an observation of mine. I'm sure whenever I share information that people can't understand or process, they like to hate on it or whatever, but this is an observation. This female came from a phantom breeding. Okay, she's 62.5% super dwarf, Calatoa, possible het albino. This is the highest.
Super chat.
This is the only high percentage actually female that I have left that is under $1,000. She's $850. But she is what I'm gonna call like a, just so you guys understand, like a phantom sibling. So phantom reduces the amount of black. It increases the color along the sides. Look at this thing. She has a phantom-esque pattern. Do you see that? So phantom affects the color and the pattern. This one's color is not affected, although it does have wide areas of color. She's deep in blue, but Jess, I don't know on camera. Can you see the silvers and the golds there?
A little bit.
Those
You're
like
a little in the
tiger
shadow.
shark stripes almost.
There,
Look at
better.
that. So she's got that. She's got tons of color. But why on earth does she look like a phantom? Look at her tail. What's up with that pattern? And it's almost obliterated on the top end. There's almost no pattern on her dorsal of her neck, the top of her neck. But remember that phantom I showed you with the crazy porthole window side rosettes? She's got that for days. So that's a really interesting animal. She's not a phantom, just a normal. So instead of being $3,000 or whatever, she's $850. She is a Posset albino. I think the benefit of having all that color would make really nice albinos. And again, she's deep in blue, so she's not showing very nicely.
You have a super chat from
Yeah.
Zoic Reptiles.
What's up, Zoe?
And they said, thanks for the advice last week.
Heck yeah, man. You're welcome. You're very welcome. No, we always want
Give me this
everyone
one.
to be better. I'll give you this one. I'm gonna
Anna.
go grab the Sunchino Golden
Oh,
Child.
okay.
So you can talk about this snake.
No.
You just gotta do the hand model thing. You'll be fine.
You're fine.
Oh, you're just following me.
I know, because I was going to grab a different one.
$850, guys. That's the most affordable. Remember, yearling female. Well, she was hatched in May, so almost yearling female super dwarf, possible het albino. Albino is one of those projects that, I mean, super dwarf, like a 50% super dwarf albino, which is less than her, has been selling for $1,500 for the last 10 years or whatever. So really good long-term investment animal there. I moved this guy, so I gotta find him now. Here he is. It's for you, Brandon.
That was a $20 super chat from Zoic. What kind of advice did you give him?
I don't know, must have been good. Hopefully it helped. Here you go. Check this bad boy out. This is a Sunfire
Take him out here.
Golden Child, Mochino, possible het Anery. Guy's stacked. Now, this is a project that is in development. That's why I was saying, why do you even know what this is? Because these guys are technically like 40 some odd percent dwarf. Sometimes to get all these genes in there, you have to dip down below. Look at the eyes on this sucker. He is amazing. Look at his eyes are like purple gray. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Look at that. Isn't that cool? And yeah, I mean, that's about as orange as you can get a snake. Deep, rich color. Oh, look, he's just finishing his shed. Oh, that's so satisfying. Everybody online's gonna hate it. Oh, you can't help your snake to shed. You can't itch their scratch. But anyway, yeah, that's him. He's a good boy. He lives here because he has too many genetics to ever go anywhere else. So I probably won't breed him because his brother is a visual Anery. So his brother doesn't have the Sunfire gene, but for me it was more important to get the Mochino and the Anery together. So, but oh my gosh, I don't mind having this guy around. He is beautiful. I just don't want to share those genetics just yet. I want to be able to actually make the snakes high percentage super dwarf in good, controllable sized bloodlines. You know, you see a lot of breeders with the market the way they are on super dwarfs, which is very high, breeding things like, oh, it's 25% super dwarf or it's 37.5% super dwarf. And they go, I selectively bred it to be small. Well, come on, guys. If you selectively bred it to be small, you wouldn't focus on the morph over the, you know, the percentage of super dwarf. A lot of guys make a snake like this and it's done, and they try to sell them. You want to pick that little tail off. He's so cute.
I have a comment from Anna Kevlin. She said, do you have a Rennet Ghost project? And she wants to see logo. So I'll grab logo.
Okay, you want to swap them out? Rennet Ghost project, sad story. Buddy of mine, John Cashman, was working some cool dwarf Rennet Ghost stuff. He chose the Slayer locality, which are extreme yellow head and bold, thick black. Because with the Rennet Ghost, they have that ghosty purple where the black normally is. So he wanted to put a ton of black on there and shrink it down in size. So he did the clutch, got a really small clutch, and in the entire clutch there was like one female. I sold it. Around the same time that we did that, those are the first, and they're 2 years old now, but they're still the only dwarf and or super dwarf Rennet Ghost animals that have ever been produced, meaning that they were 50% or over. Here's Logo. Logo's cool. His little Paradox Anery spot is getting bigger.
It is.
Yeah, he's got a little birthmark on his neck. I don't know. Can you guys see the silver spot on his neck that's Anery?
So shadowy.
Oh, okay. See that little silver spot right there? It looks like you took an eraser to him. Anyway, because we only had one female, I decided to sell the pair. That was also the year that that Ben died. And so we did a charity auction. I just donated them. You get one pair like that. I thought, you know, I don't know what I was thinking. I was maybe a little sad, depressed. I'm sure John was as well, who is a partner on the project. And we let the animals go. Zach Nava bought them, and he's working that project to fruition. That was 2 years ago, like I said, that the first hets were made. You got to remember, a lot of times to get any new recessive morph into Superdorf, it can take 8 or 10 years to really actually have it be readily available in a small size. And here at Reach Out Reptiles, we're not trying to like hurry up and push a morph out and slap a dwarf label on it or whatever to get them as quickly as we can, so that we can take advantage of like high prices on new morphs. I mean, we do that stuff. Certainly those phantoms are not inexpensive or whatever, but they're going to make whoever buys them a significant amount of money. But what we want to do is make sure that we refine the bloodline first. Look at that Anery spot. Make it really small and then bring it to you guys.
His eyes are really cool too.
So I'm still working with Zach on it. It's going to be a while. It's probably another 5 years before we really see some stuff. But we're going to shrink it down even further so that by the time we have any Rennick, Ghost, Dwarf, or Super Dwarf stuff to offer, it's going to be pretty phenomenal. We like to get a couple generations of like good hardcore selective breeding from the right animals in there when we first establish a project, and we go from there. That's Logo. This guy is, by the way, Motley Golden Child makes an all-black snake. This is a Motley Golden Child, but he also has Platinum and Tiger in him, which is kind of humorous because those two genes lighten the snake back up. So he almost looks like just a straight Golden Child. He definitely has a different color hue to him. Look at his beautiful eyes. And he is head Anery. He's a year old. He's 50% Super Dwarf. This is one that's available too, right, Jess?
No,
Oh,
definitely not.
Jess won't let me sell this one, but that's good because he's Motley,
almost a year old.
almost a year old.
We have
Motley.
the same birthday.
Well, do you really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, huzzah! That's pretty cool. So Motley, Golden Child, Platinum, Tiger, Head Anery, Pos Head Albino in 50% Super Dwarf. I want to run that bad boy to like a really high percentage or pure Super Dwarf Anery female and start making finally some like Super Dwarf Motley Golden Childs. You know, we've made a couple in the past, but I want to really refine the bloodline first, and then we'll produce them in enough numbers to bring them to you guys.
Natalia Prado wants to know.
I remember Natalia because one of my snakes are named after her.
Yes.
On this very live feed. We're going to do that tonight. Get your names
And
ready.
she comments every time.
Oh, okay.
We love Natalia. She wants to know how the search for the new facility is going, and she also wants to see Peanut and Duckface.
You're going to have to go get Peanut and Duckface.
I'll get one at a time.
We're still hunting for the new facility. It's one of these things where because of that pandemic and everything like that, there's a lot of commercial properties becoming available. So we're looking and looking and looking. Can I tell them about the one I was looking at earlier?
Like you're not going to tell them something.
Okay, just as I can tell you because it's hopeless to get me to not tell you anything on a live feed. We found a water treatment facility. Super cool, right? So it has a giant moat. I'm thinking like crocodiles or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to be reptarian or nerd, but I would like some crocodiles in a moat. But on one side it has a river. On one side, this is Duckface. On one side it has a really like a super cute kind of like old school American Northeast town where you can walk to the little mom and pop restaurants and bed and breakfasts. You want to see his little misshapen head? She was born this way, guys. She wasn't bred this way. Kind of a runty thing. Look, see how her nose is turned up? Jessica loves to shine the light on the little deformities. She's super sweet,
cute.
though.
Her face looks like a duck.
I guess that's cute. I call it misshapen. But that's obviously not an animal that we sell. But she's just a tiny little, obviously runty. The snake is how old? It's like 6 or 8 months old.
At least.
And it's about as big around as my pinky. But it's a little white-faced tiger. This one was produced actually over at Metcalf Reptiles. It was a breeding partnership that we did. And so I don't know. It was a rough clutch. Most of the eggs died. This was the sole animal I got. And she is misshapen.
Cute little face. Don't
she's
call
kind
her
of a pet
misshapen.
over here.
She's cute.
She's special. We love them. I mean, she's super sweet. Super sweet. Really good little girl. I actually love her classic tiger pattern.
Lori says she's adorable.
She's pretty adorable.
She is.
I mean, when you get like a little pug-faced, runty snake, it can't not be adorable. Look at the tiger pattern on that. You almost don't
She's
even
pretty.
recognize it as a tiger. You have to hold very still. Look at those ovals. You see them? There's so much dwarf and super dwarf influence in this thing that it doesn't even look like a tiger anymore, which is part of the fun of making these really high percentage ones. So that's duck face. What was the other ones you wanted to see?
Peanut.
Peanut.
Trade. Ryan said, what are some good pro reptile groups like USARK to support?
I don't know. On a national level, USARK is it. We have a new design for a t-shirt that we're going to do and actually donate some of the proceeds from one of these live feeds to USARK. It's going to be more important than ever for USARK to be supported. We don't get into politics or anything like that, and honestly, I can't stand politicians anyways. So on either side, but there is a bit of an association with the Democratic Party and extremist animal rights groups working together in the past, and every time these special interest groups, I'm all for, like, we love animals, we want animal rights, but these guys go to the extremes of just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. USARK really helps. HSUS, PETA, I think HSUS is the worst as far as like constantly trying to take pet keepers' rights away. If you don't own a dog or a cat, they don't want you. So everyone should be a member of USARK if you're not already. I would just say double down, Ryan, on USARK for sure. The other, if you really want to get into charitable giving for animals, go find a local rescue. Not Humane Society of the United States that plays sad dog puppy commercials during the Super Bowl and then takes your money and gives it to their CEO or lobbyists. No, you want to give them to people who actually, HSUS donates less than 1% of money collected for animal welfare to animal welfare groups. So that's not right. I mean, I don't, if you want to support a group that, pays CEOs, support them. But it's not right to tell people you're saving dogs and then not. So find someone that's actually saving animals, local rescues. Orange County Reptile Rescue is Sam Mackey. He's been a long-time favorite of mine. There's a lot of good ones there. But I would say double down on USARK as far as they do an amazing job of just keeping our rights the way they are. And what I was saying about the dangers of where our country is, I mean, we had it was a great inaugural address. We have a change of hands in presidency. That stuff's always like scary and yet exciting or brings opportunity at the same time. The only issue is because the Democratic Party is kind of in bed with special interest groups like animal rights things. We now have a Democratic Senate, a Democratic government, a Democratic House, and so there is no there's no one to say, hey, wait, let's think about that. A good example is the HEROES Act, where they were trying to give people relief, financial relief for COVID, and they had a bill. I don't know why we're getting into politics.
Why are we going there?
But let me just teach you guys something, because I think this is crazy. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Have some common sense. Like, think about this. They were passing a bill that spent enough money to give every single American citizen about $6,000. And I don't know if you got it, but we got it. It showed up in our account for me, my wife, and my kids, $600 each. And everyone's like, yay, we got some money from the government, right? Free money. Who doesn't want it? And a lot of people really need it because of COVID relief stuff. This is Peanut, by the way. She's 2 years old.
She's pretty.
The problem is, if there was enough money passed in that bill to give everyone $6,000 and everyone got $600, you do that math, 90% of that money went elsewhere. And it did not go to things that necessarily helped COVID. Within some of that act, as it was originally written, was a law to ban allowing these animals to transport state lines. Does that sound familiar, guys? They hit it from every angle, whether it's U.S. Fish and Wildlife or whatever. They don't want you to have snakes. So it was a special interest thing in there written by groups like HSUS to try to stop the reptile trade. And the reason why they were saying it was like COVID related is that maybe these snakes could get COVID. Of course, that's never been proven. It's never happened and it doesn't happen. But maybe if they did, we shouldn't ship them across state lines because it would help the spread of COVID-19. And so in order for you to get your $600 and be quiet, it would ruin the lives of people like me who love reptiles, even though they don't love us back. You know, not everything needs to be a dog or a cat to be an animal with value. So, I mean, I'm all for if you want to make these separate bills on separate issues and vote them in, go for it, do it. But don't say you're going to try to give money to people for COVID relief and then take away snakes or add whatever other random crap special interest. So, show me some love, guys. If you agree with me, like, just, I don't know, comment something. Don't make it hateful or whatever, but special interest groups are the worst, you know, because they're taking a bill that's meant to help people and they're making it make them help themselves. They skeeve off all the money that could actually do good things for real people. I can't stand it. I always said, and I'll say it here on the live again, I think I've said it here on the live before, if they ever did make it illegal to, you know, have reptiles as pets, I would go into public service and run for elected office so that I could bring the fight to them because, I mean, you took everything I loved away. Not everything. I can still go outside and play with garter snakes or whatever the case may be, and I do love that kind of stuff. At my core, I'm still a kid going outside catching reptiles, and I'll have fun with that. But if you take these guys away from me, I'm sorry, special interest groups, I'm freaking coming after you because look at all the time I have. You took all my snakes away. This is all I do time with anyway. So maybe think about that. Anyway, show me some love, guys, because I get so tired of it. You know, the politics. Jeez. Does anyone actually care? Just try to do good things for people, guys. That's all there is to it. Jess, what's our next question?
As simple
Please.
as that. You
Yeah.
have a super chat, though.
Oh, I got to dance. What's up? What's the super chat? Woohoo! Woo, look at this.
That
Hey,
is
super
from Natalie's
chat.
Reptiles.
Yeah, Natalie's Reptiles. Okay.
She said,
What's up,
totally
Natalie's?
agree, these politicians suck.
Yes, they are the worst. And even when you get people in that aren't career politicians, they're insane. So, come on, guys. Let's get some common sense back in the White House. Seriously.
Nava Reptiles just sent a $10
Man.
donation to USARK and put Reach Out Reptiles in the notes.
I love you. Anyway, that's Nava Reptiles who has the Rennick Ghost Dwarf Project. Okay, very cool. Good job, Zach. No, everybody go check out USARK. Doesn't benefit me in any way other than Phil Goss's Good Peoples. And those guys obviously help, you know, all they do is just let people have reptiles as pets. That's their big thing. They find laws of people doing ridiculous things and they try to shut them down. And it takes a lot of funding to pay lawyers and stuff for stuff like that. Oh, wait, let me talk about Peanut. Okay, Peanut's 2 years old. You guys have probably heard of this before. What the heck is this snake? She's dwarf and super dwarf. We know that. The breeding was a motley tiger to a golden child. Now, you can kind of see influences from some of those different morphs, but this is not a standard motley tiger or a golden child or I don't know what the heck this is. If I thought that was what a motley golden child tiger was going to look like before I ever saw one, I would believe it. But a motley golden child tiger looks like logo, and this does not. So, what the heck is that? Super chat. Are you dancing on this one, Jess?
No.
What's your super chat
I can't.
dance for
It'll
tonight?
Hurt Peanut.
Do you guys know that Jessica will do a super chat dance for a certain amount of
No,
money?
Jessica will not.
We did. I saw it before. There is video
That
proof.
was enough.
That was not enough.
That's plenty.
What's your
That's enough
price?
for the
Everybody
next
has a
year.
price. Come on. What's the super chat?
Yeah. So, Morph Mixology Reptiles says, "Hey ROR fam, hashtag Adult Milkshake Fund
Oh, are we getting adult milkshakes now?
for $1.99.
Burgatory, what's up? You remember Burgatory, don't you? Yes, you do.
They have the
He
best
was here. We
milkshakes.
went to Burgatory. It was a good time. And that waitress was the worst, right? She was probably from some special interest
She was
group.
probably having a bad day.
I've been there. She's had like 3 bad days that I've been there 3 times. Anyway, what's up? Thank you very much, Jason Bigler.
Oops,
You're
what
the
did I
man.
do?
What do we
Hold
got?
on, I lost my questions. Ryan again.
Wait, Zoic Reptile says he didn't get his dance. Make Jessica dance.
No, you danced.
You did a little
You got
dance.
his dance.
You did a little dance. Can we do one of those dances where we dance and you're like off camera?
I'll dance off camera. Woo! There you
She
go.
did it. It was good. You're gonna have to take my word on it.
Ryan Hood also said, "How much time How much time a week do you recommend taking the snakes out of the enclosures and interacting?
That's a loaded question. So, taking snakes out and interacting. Reticulated pythons tend to be very interactive, but I say they tend to be. Every different animal is going to be different. We had a tiger retic. Do you guys remember? It was in one of these very live feeds, and we're going to put a video up on Tuesday pulling eggs because we got a clutch from this tiger female. Now, she wasn't raised here, but this beautiful girl laid 25 perfect eggs for us today. Look how she looks like a deflated gym sock. Any amount of time outside of the cage for her. Don't show what's behind the rack. You gotta
What
this way.
the
No. Okay. There's secret things back there. Any amount of time for her is too much because she doesn't like people. So I guess the way I'd answer this question is, you really have to learn to listen to your snake. Because the thing with snakes is like they get exhausted and they get stressed out if they're like overhandled, overutilized. And they don't always express it because they're pretty mild mannered. So like I have a friend, just one example, he had his baby retic out and he had his kids playing with it for about 2 hours. That was a pretty long time for a baby retic. And you know, I mean, kids play with the snakes and stuff like that. It was probably pretty stressful for the snake. Then they put it away. And then they went to go take it out again about 10 minutes later. And it bit them and they were shocked. Like, oh my goodness, the snake bit me. I'm thinking that snake was probably like, oh, thank God, I'm finally back in my cage. And then you're going to have the kids come and take me out again. And they did not want it. And so the snake bit them defensively and we're talking about a baby snake or whatever. But it was a kid that got bit. So it was fairly traumatic, I'm sure, you know, for your 8 or 10-year-old to take a bite, even though it does 0 damage, to get bit by a baby python. It's literally like maybe 25% as bad as if you got scratched by your kitten, right? But it can be traumatic for the kids. So that's definitely on us as adults to listen to our animals and see. And I think if that animal wants to come out and explore and cruise, as long as they're still tongue flicking and looking around, very curious, checking stuff out, they're okay. At the point where they hunker down and they're just sitting there, I think they're done. And you should offer them
Super
the
chat.
opportunity to go back. Super chat, what's up? Who's the super chat for?
Do the dance.
Okay.
Corey Schrader.
What's up, Corey? Thanks for super chatting, man. Welcome to the channel.
Corey says, can't have one of yours because I live in New York, but keep up the good work so I can continue to learn from your videos.
That is awful. I am sorry. Hopefully we're doing stuff that applies across, you know, any different job. I mean, we're talking politics tonight, you know, so I don't know, the incubator advances that we're trying to make and stuff like that. No. All of that stuff, that applies to multiple species and everything like that.
To the other side.
Hopefully that helps you. Yes, I have to prevent you. Let's go back to some of the available animals. We haven't showed them all.
Can we go back to the questions?
No. We got to show a couple. I want to show you guys a special one, okay? There are 2 animals that, and this is a question that people ask me all the time, so I'm going to answer it for myself here. There's 2 animals that if I were going to buy an animal, it would be these 2. Those are pretty, and if those are the right animals for you, that's great. For me, I like to get, I don't mind spending money if I get the right animal. I want quality, and you know how that goes. You spend the money once, you enjoy the animal for the rest of your life, you know, at least 25, 30, 40 years, however long the Superdwarf Retic lives. I haven't kept them long enough to know. But there are 2 here that I would get. They're older females. You can always use another female. This is one. This is a snow sunfire. We made
pretty.
Yeah, this snake was produced in partnership with the guy who raised that tiger over there, Jeremy Gore. But it was actually from a female that we had produced earlier on. Look at this thing. I did not think sunfire would look good on snow, but these things are like this crazy highlighter yellow, green on the side, really dark smoky purple, and those amazing snow eyes. Look at that. They look like, I don't know, platinum gold or something. So this is a 3 gene. She's technically a dwarf, which actually makes her cheaper, but she's 43.5% Calatoa, 9 point some odd percent, 9.38 actually, some odd. Jampea. So she's technically a dwarf, but at a super dwarf price. This is going to sound expensive to a lot of people. I'm sorry. This is a $6,000 snake. But Snows were actually one of the first super dwarf made, and they have been commanding very high prices for 20 years now. They're still really hard to make. And to get one in a Sunfire, what's cool is not just the color, but Sunfire takes all the speckles out of the background. Do you see how there's like no purple speckles in those fields anywhere? There's some speckles, but that's poop. But no, this thing is just perfectly, immaculately clean. This lighting doesn't even do her any justice.
No.
She glows in the dark. She's like a bone white head on the top and almost a yellow green down the sides. Very few Sunfires. And using the Sunfire just to clean the pattern up is cool. So that's a $6,000 female. Let me show you the other one. And then unless you guys are super chatting, we can go back to the questions. But I'll show you one more female. And for those of you guys that are thinking, oh, $6,000, all your snakes are too expensive, I still have some for you. Just make sure, guys, like, there's a couple left. We have the tendency to sell a lot of snakes in a week. So if you see something you like, our PayPal's Garrett at reachourreptiles.com. Send the money that I mentioned in the video. We'll figure out the details later, and the snake will be yours so you don't miss it. That's what I recommend. I'll take care of you guys. Don't worry about it.
Email. What's the email?
Email info@reachourreptiles if you want more information. But I'm telling you, if like someone puts $6,000 in the account, the snake is theirs. So this is the other one. This is deep in blue, but this is a 4-gene, 75% year-old female. We talked about phantoms and how everyone bought up all the phantom females. They ranged in price anywhere from $2,000 up to $12,500 was our most expensive phantom.
Super chat.
Woohoo! All right, Nathan C.
To the dance.
What is going on, Nathan? Here, let's do one of these. Yes. What does he want to know? What does he want to know?
How big do you think the $6,000 female will get?
She's going to get 10 or 11 feet as an adult. Possibly up to 12. But if you get the nice high percentage male to her, 10 feet, you have to realize like a pure Kalatoa can get 10 feet. So for a retic, that's pretty reasonably sized. This girl's 10 feet. I expect that Snow to get a little bit bigger probably than this tiger. Can you see that? That snake is 10 feet. A 9-foot retic's about the same size as a ball python, really, by weight and the way they curl up and how hard they are to house and handle and feed. So 10 feet's not too big. I would say up to 12. Nathan, you know how to take care of a snake, so you're not going to overfeed or anything. But we don't feed them to keep them small. We feed them to keep them healthy. This is a Phantom Sunfire Tiger 100% het Anery, which, Nathan, if you got $6,000 to spend, you probably have the $7,500 to spend that is this girl. This is 75% Super Dwarf. It comes from Madhu and Kalatoa, so she's from that same clutch we talked about earlier with the Phantoms. But this female, for example, if you had something crazy like a Karampa Posset Anery, and you could run this girl to that, you'd be making 87.5% Super Dwarfs, and most of it would be from Karampa. Phantom, Sunfire, Tiger, Het Anery, you could possibly make Anerys. This girl is, Phantom is one of, I know it's been around a long time on the mainland market, but still today, like, I wouldn't say that everybody in the world that wants a cow has one, even as a mainland. So they're still highly desirable. So to be in Super Dwarf and high percentage, if you could take this girl, run it to something really nice, I don't know what Karampa would do to that pattern. I don't know, I can't even imagine it. Like I said, she's in blue today, so her color looks blah, but this is a 4-gene snake. She has all the genes. The $12,500 one that we have is a visual Anery, but this one has all the same genes at $7,500. So, unless you need a high percentage of Anerys, this would be the second female that I would get. This is like bang for your buck for days. By the way, no 75% Super Dwarf Phantom has ever been sold before 2020. I have an older female. She's the only one on the planet. So this is the oldest high percentage super dwarf phantom female that you can get. The snows would be amazing too. Also, that has Anery gene in it. It just kind of depends if you want to go like the cow and the phantom sunfire tiger together, adds all kinds of cool color and pattern. The snow on the other hand, like removes all that, and you get those ghosty white snakes. So it sort of depends. They're both white snake projects, and because of that, they're going to be long-term good snakes to do. Look at this cute girl. See how she's tongue flicking, whipping around?
A bun.
She still is good for interaction. She's enjoying it. She's cruising around. She's exploring. All good stuff. Look how tiny she is. She's a year old.
You are out of time. We have one more question. And
Okay, we'll do the question.
We didn't name any snakes.
Oh, crap.
I
had the name. Get your names ready.
Henry Lopez. Henry Lopez says, "What's up, guys? Hope all is well. When it comes to mainland and super dwarfs, what is the time frame? Oh, is the time frame and challenge something you like about achieving in the crossbreedings? Or if you had to choose any mainland and make it a super dwarf as a locality or even just a genetic, what would you choose and why?"
I'm kind of confused about the question, honestly. But it sounds like they're saying, do we enjoy the challenge of crossing super dwarfs into mainlands? I don't know that it's so much of a challenge versus breeding like pure localities is pretty challenging in itself. Anytime you breed super dwarf females to have like proportionately very large eggs, you have to do a really good job raising them to be fit and healthy if they're going to be able to lay those eggs successfully. So when you're breeding, it doesn't, I don't really buy into this thing that like if you breed a mainland male to a super dwarf female, you kill them. I think that's just mainland breeders trying to get in on the super dwarf game and not knowing how to raise super dwarf females. But if you have a healthy female, you should be able to breed a mainland or a super dwarf to her with relative ease either way, unless it's a giant mainland male, but you wouldn't want to do that. If I could have any morph or locality of mainland super dwarfed, what would I do? I've kind of already done them. I mean, morph after morph. As I fall in love, we work new projects. So I mean, we've got the albinos. I love the snows. Anery anything is amazing to me. And we love working them in. Like 75% means generations of breeding into super dwarfs, and that's why to have 4 genes in a female at a year old is kind of silly, really, that she's still even here. But I do that if I have one that I like, I run it in. So basically all of our morph projects, and there's more to come. I want to do titanium. I'd love to do anthrax. I want to see genetic stripe. 2021 we might start to add finally some super dwarf het genetic stripes with a little bit of luck. If you guys send some hopes and prayers our way, maybe we'll be even be able to offer some super dwarf het pied stuff, because I want to see those in. As far as mainland localities, to be perfectly honest with you, I like them as they are. I like those mainland localities as they are. When you cross 2 localities, you kind of water down the looks. And so I probably wouldn't breed a cool looking, like if you have, I don't know, there's a lot of hype around like ternates, for example, ternades. And people want to know, are they dwarf? Are they not dwarf? Whatever. Some people say they're dwarf based on imported adult sizes, whatever. And everyone's saying, well, I'd like to breed that into a super dwarf. I think what you're going to get is a less good looking animal that's kind of bigger than a super dwarf. I say get a super dwarf and get a ternate if that's what you want. The ternates are beautiful. They're amazing. They look good. When you get a good one, they look really good. The super dwarfs are ridiculously small. But let me show you, speaking of ridiculously small, of one project that I did that was locality mainland down. Breeder Lever Patreon, guys. We're getting late, but this is a good one. Hopefully most of you guys are here anyway. On our Patreon group, we have a huge community, and we do extra videos that are a little bit more intimate with a lot of cool stuff. So if you guys enjoy this, please check out Reach Out Reptiles on Patreon. I'm tired of sounding like a commercial all the time, but at the same time, like, that's a really good community. I really enjoy it. So this female is about to lay her second clutch. She's already a locality cross, so she's pure super dwarf. Look at the size of her. She's a tiny little thing. And this is her second clutch, guys. And this is a captive bred female, not some scrawny mainland. See those cool dripping down tail patterns? That's from Carrampa. She's a Carrampa Kalatoa cross. So very exquisite, rare morph. Keeps them very, very small. And she is absolutely loaded with eggs. So this is her tail. So if you go like from here
Super chat.
all the way back to here, she's absolutely loaded. Natalia.
The super chat dance.
This is my super chat dance for you. I can't even do it. Yeah, that. Thank you so much for your
Natalia
support.
says, for the extra long live stream, love all the info.
Thank you. All right, so this is probably one of my favorite localities here. He's very dark today.
Windsurface says Lucas is already waiting in the breeder meeting.
We're coming. This is a Banteng region Sulawesi. So it's from Sulawesi Island. I don't know if you can see him a little closer. We can pull him out. He's a good boy. But these are a very specific looking Sulawesi. They're
Taking them out there.
I don't know if I would say they're my favorite because they're kind of all my favorite. Certainly one of my favorite. But these are the most opposite of a super dwarf I could get. Look at that
He's so cool.
deep yellow head, beautiful silver eyes, which is like super dwarf. But the thick, inky black lines of these things are phenomenal. These are from the first and only one of 2 breedings of Banteng region Sulawesis in the country, maybe the world, because I've never heard of another one. Look at that. That guy's exquisite. So my idea is, if I can get those cool dripping sides where this black comes all the way down and all the way back up, like that tiny female had, and then I can get this thick, bold black and crazy, oh, he's grabbing the camera, crazy yellow head. Look at those perfect beauty marks, they're so big. Mwah. If I could get this look with basically double the pattern, and as Sulawesis go, most of Sulawesi Island retics get very, very big, but the Banteng seem to stay a little bit smaller. They just said they're very new, so we don't really know for sure, but this guy's 2 years old. It's a very manageable size. And so he's breeding her for the 2nd year in a row. I call that my GOAT line, G-O-A-T, greatest of all time, because I want to take the beautiful classic looks of this Banteng Sulawesi and just basically double everything that's good about him with the high saddle count of the Carrampa Kalatoa cross, while using, she's literally one of my smallest females, so that we can get the best possible size result. And it's just a Frankenstein cross. But what I'd like to do is keep basically all the females back at least, and a couple males, so that I can blend anything that really looks good into our morphs and stuff like that to really up the ante.
Summer wants to know how big the females will get from that line.
From that one? Well, generally they take more after mom than dad. So I mean, this female here is, you know, like I said, she's cooking her 2nd clutch right there, and she's minuscule. She's maybe 7 feet. So that'll be really small. Let me show you another cute little tiny girl, just because they're small. Can you guys believe this female is gravid? Look at that. She's all thick on eggs right there. Look how tiny she is. I mean, my finger, like 1 or 2 digits of my finger is the size of her head. This thing is literally smaller than a lot of breeder gopher snakes and stuff. Crazy. But that's what we're trying to do, is take these exceptionally small females from really good bloodlines. I don't like breeding the pure locality stuff as far as females out. Like if I have a pure Carrampa, I don't want to breed a pure Carrampa female to anything but Carrampa. They're just too precious and too rare. But some of the stuff has already been crossed, and so those are great genetics. They're good bloodlines. Let's shrink them down. Let's take the good things that they do. And I love that my job, supported by you guys, is to sit here and kind of have a vision to put these different things together. And yeah, that's awesome. I don't know.
We're
I think it's
super
cool.
late.
All right.
Do you
all right.
want to name some snow chinos or what?
Oh yeah, we got to do that. All right, really quick. I have 2 snakes that haven't been named. I want you guys to name them for me tonight. There's a girl and a boy. These are the only snow chinos that are out there. This is my girl. She is technically a dwarf, but she has a lot of super dwarf in her. Woo! Hey, baby. This is the snow mochino. So this is Anery, mocha, and albino in one snake. She is the world's first snow chino.
Drake and Bunny. So
Female. Drake and Bunny. This is a female. Woohoo! Someone's saying Drake because they said Drake last week.
Elsa.
Elsa? Oh, that's cute. My girls love Frozen. That kind of strikes a sentimental one. That's pretty cute. So
We have
that's
another vote for Bunny.
a snow
Cherry.
chino.
Cane latte.
Latte. That's cute. I don't know. I kind of like Elsa. Can anyone beat Elsa? That's the snow chino female. I don't know if you guys realize this, but I once mortgaged.
Winter. Emma.
I mortgaged my house to buy
Wanda.
her father. Worked on this project for many, many, many years. I said it was cursed for a long time. My buddy Nate
Daisy,
Davis helped me
Jester,
finally
Bunny
crack the code
again,
on it.
Teresa, Elsa, Julian,
Elsa.
Elsa, Olga.
Elsa. We're doing Elsa. I love it. Who said Elsa? If you guys said Elsa, let us know. Just what are we giving them? If they said
Email
Elsa?
you the pictures. You sent the pictures.
We will send you a picture of the snake that you named. Our snow chino, the only snow chino female,
Isn't there a boy?
is Elsa. Okay, so this is the boy. He's a golden child snow chino. He came from a different mom because she had golden child in her.
Summer named him. Summer, email me.
Summer named him Summer. Stop winning everything. People are gonna. You guys saw it. I didn't know. All right. She just has good taste in names or something. Okay. I'm not
Morph
favoring you.
Mixology said the male needs to be Olaf then.
Done. I love it. Dwarf and Superdwarf, 6.25% Superdwarf, almost nothing, and 37.5% Jam. But I wanted to bring the crazy gold and silver colors in, and I think we accomplished it. This thing is weird. He looks like green sunglasses or something, but that's a golden child snow chino. Looks awful in here. I'll have to take a real picture of him someday. But look at the weird colors he is. Olaf and Elsa.
Agree, Olaf.
Done. Done deal. All right. That's pretty cool. Okay, Jason, you just named a golden child snow chino, my man.
Mr. and Mrs. Morelia, Olaf or nothing.
Yeah, if you offered me like 30 G's for this snake right now, I'd have to tell you to go pound sand because it's been such a painful road to get all those genes together, and I got big plans for him. So, congratulations. You named one of the most precious snakes in Elsa. I honestly I like her even better. She has less genetics, but she is technically a dwarf. Thank you guys. I love you guys. If you are breeder level Patreon, we will see you shortly. If not, why not? Jump on Patreon, guys. Let's spend some more time together. There's tons of behind the scenes content. We will see you guys there.
Okay, bye.